Hey, welcome back to Rock Stardust. I hope you're doing well out there, leading into the festive season. There's plenty going on. Look, I wanted to do a video today on bands and great acts that sort of went past their use by date in terms of the catalogue. That scenario where if they'd hung their boots up at this point, it would have been a great legacy. That would have left the music right where it needed to be, vital and at a high standard. And so many, for whatever reason, lineup changes, or they've gone just dragged on, stylistic things that happen, moving into the 80s or whatever it is, where they've just lost it, and it's a real shame. And I'm sure that many of you can relate to this with some of your favorite acts. Where to draw the line, where to put that full stop in the catalogue and move on to the sunset. So many examples out there. And these are, 10 examples I've got for you today. So at number 10, I've got Queen. Now, Queen, classic rock band, one of my favorite bands. Just brilliant, heavy, hard rock with all of those idiosyncrasies there, with that amazing lineup. To me, their last great album, would be The Game. Okay? And so you're looking around 1980. If they stopped there at that point, that's an amazing legacy. There's no tarnish, there's no this synth stuff coming in and pop stuff that kind of was all over the place. Yes, there was some other good music that came through in pockets, but at that point would be, for me, the best time for Queen to hang up the old boots, Okay, at number 9, I've got Thin Lizzy, great band. I would say Thin Lizzy, the classic lineup of Gorham and Robbo for me was the classic, after Bad Rep, to me, it was never the same. But I'd be okay if the catalogue ended with Renegade. What I'm not happy about is the way it finished off with Thunder and Lightning. It felt like a real down dive. It didn't even sound really like Thin Lizzy to me. Stylistically, it had shifted. It got heavier. It's more of a metal thing, and it didn't really work. So, and then Phil wasn't well. So, best thing, line in the sand at Renegade. Phil, get well. That would have been the best outcome. All right. At number 8, I've got The Clash. My feelings about The Clash is that Sandinista was their last truly great album. If you end that catalogue there, it is, without a doubt, one of the only bands that ever mattered in terms of like absolute brilliant output. That's my feelings. All right. Some people would feel differently, but I can accept some combat rock, and I guess the benefits of combat rock is the worldwide coverage it gave them, so more people discovered the band, and it gave them a little bit of money in the bank as well, and they worked really hard. But Straight to Hell is a great song, and especially the live version. But Cut the Crap is a joke, should be in the garbage, delete, never come back. So Sandinista, last one for The Clash for me. The Stones, I would say, would be next at number 7. To me, look, Tattoo You would be the last great album for me, with Ronnie Wood. It sounds great. It's got some great tracks on it. To me, that defines, it still has that really strong Stones feel and excitement, energy. Obviously, I love the Mick Taylor period, and I'd be cool if it ended after that as well. But things do kind of drag on, and it becomes a bit, repeat. So that's where I'd end up with the Stones. At number 6, I've got U2. They did some exciting, great, powerful music early on. They were such an exciting young band. It's a shame where they kind of, they've lost a lot of their integrity, and people forget a lot about that early stuff. and what they were like at the time. I think their last really great album was Tongue Baby. I'd be happy for it to draw a line in the sand right there. At a push, if I had to drag it out, there was still some good music being played and written. Probably How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb would be the last straw. Okay, at number 5, I've got Echo and the Bunnymen. Okay, classic band for me. The self-titled album would be the last one in the catalogue that I'd be happy with, you know, because Macca could still sing great. There was all the energy of the band, the magic was there. And to me, when they came back in 97, it was never quite the same. And McCulloch, his voice, it had lost that register. And you could see that was damaged moving forward. And as much as you try and hide it as a fan, disguise it in your mind, it's there, it's black and white. And there just wasn't the same chemistry. So, yeah, I would say that for Echo and the Bunnymen for sure. Hey guys, before we go to the next one, please do remember to like and subscribe. It makes a big difference to the channel. Thanks to those that have. And do leave your comments in the comment section, because this is an interesting topic and everyone will have examples that want to share. They're different. There's so many out there. Okay, so at number 4, I've got Deep Purple. Deep Purple's a tricky one because to me, the Mark II classic lineup with Gillan there, that's it, you know, up and Who Do We Think We Are is the last album. If that ended there, I'd be quite happy. Because I think that's just that classic period. Where it's tricky is, I do like a lot of Mark III too, with Coverdale and Hughes, but to me it would be cool if it was a different name, a different band. And I like Perfect Strangers, and I'm going to put it this way, I'm going to put a line in the sand with this band, this catalogue, and let's underline that with House of Blue Light. Not everyone's favourite, but there's enough there for me to say in the catalogue at that point. But that's a tricky one where you're getting that 80s production coming in as well. At number 3, I've got Bad Company. Okay, classic example. Desolation Angels for me is where you end this catalogue. End of story, no arguments. The great Paul Rodgers says, look, they did do one more album after that, but it with the classic lineup, but it is pretty weak. So I would finish that on Desolation Angels, and you've got a great catalogue there of really rocking Bad Company. Awesome. Number 2, this is interesting, Def Leppard. An amazing young band. They're pretty much teenagers when they hit the scene. On Through the Night, you know, heavy, new wave of British heavy metal sound. They stood out. Their harmonies had so much going on. A lot of AC/DC and UFO in their sound. And then you had, High and Dry, which is a step up again. It's really powerful. Joe's really screaming on that. And then Pyromania. That's a 3-album set. If it ends there, that's perfect. And a lot of people agree with that. A lot will agree with that. Now, because of what happened to Rick Allen and his arm, and that, it's no good losing your arm as a drummer. It's not ideal. You could kind of give them Pyromania, Hysteria, and just leave it at that. But it did get very embarrassing moving forward. You know, it started sounding very derivative, very, very intentionally commercial, like Let's Get Rocked, and very much sounding like almost at times a tribute Bryan Adams band. So it's a shame for their legacy. At number 1, we've got Genesis. Perfect example of this. A great prog band that did amazing music from the early 70s, expanded the boundaries, so intelligent, so incredible with their chemistry. Peter Gabriel with the vocals initially, and Phil Collins taking over. You had the great Steve Hackett on guitar. What an amazing band. And then all of a sudden, I would say that Juke was the last album of any worth that they put out. there's enough quality on there to say, yeah, I can put a line in the sand there, full stop, end of catalogue, end of story. In this universe, this reality, there is no more Genesis, right? For me, what followed was garbage, and there's a lot of that with the 80s. Let Phil Collins had a successful 80s solo career. Just do that, Phil. You know, don't tarnish the band's name, pushing in the boat out to do commercial albums to sell more millions of records, which they did, but doesn't mean you're already doing that yourself. Don't ruin the band's legacy. That's what I feel it did. And integrity. So Genesis is a classic example of a band that should have hung the boots up at that point, right? All right. Hey, look, thanks for watching the video. Yeah, check it out. Do put your comments in the comment section, your examples of these bands that should have called it quits a bit earlier. And we'll go from there. And yeah, have a great build up to Christmas, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.